we start the first chapter of our syllabus, rotational dynamics. In this chapter, we consider the two sections. In first section, we consider the circular motion, and in second section, we consider the rotational motion. Circular motion means what? Motion of the particle along the circumference of a circle is called as the circular motion. For example, Earth revolves around the Sun, then the motion of the Earth is the example of a circular motion. Rotational motion means what? The motion of the particle about a fixed line is called as the rotational motion. But first here we focus the circular motion, and then in second section we consider the rotational motion. Basically there are two types of the circular motion. When particle perform a circular motion in a horizontal plane, then such a circular motion is called as the horizontal circular motion. And when particle move along the circumference of a circle, then in a vertical plane, then it is called as the vertical circular motion. Now, when particle perform a circular motion, particle possesses the linear velocity, and the direction of that linear velocity is always tangent to the circular path. So here we consider one example. So we consider different positions A, B, C, D of the particle during its circular motion. So draw the tangents at these points. So these tangents represents the direction of linear velocity at these points. If you consider one example, a stone is attached to one end of the string and another end of the string is held your hand, and we braid it, then the motion of the stone is the circular motion. When we release that string, we observe that the stone flies along the tangent to the circular path. So, magnitude of the linear velocity. Magnitude of linear velocity is also called as the linear speed. So, depends on whether that linear speed is constant or not. There are two types of the circular motions: uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion is abbreviated as UCM, and second one is non-uniform circular motion. So what is the difference between these two? So if the magnitude of the linear velocity, that is also called as linear speed, constant, then the circular motion is called as the uniform circular motion. And if the magnitude of the linear velocity is not constant, then that circular motion is called as the non-uniform circular motion. So if you consider the uniform circular motion, as the magnitude of the linear velocity remains constant, particles take the same time to complete each revolution. So you are also familiar with the periodic motion. Periodic motion means what? A motion in which the position of the particle goes on repeating after the fixed interval of a time. So in case of a uniform circular motion, magnitude of the linear speed remains constant. So therefore it is clear that uniform circular motion is nothing but the periodic motion. Now question is the every uniform circular motion is a periodic motion or not? We consider here two examples. motion of the earth around the sun, and second one is the motion of the simple pendulum, that is the pendulum of a clock. Both are the examples of the periodic motion. Means earth takes the same time to complete each revolution, that is why its motion is the periodic motion, and its motion is also the uniform circular motion. But in case of a pendulum of a clock, the motion is the periodic motion, but it is not the circular motion, and that is why we concluded that every uniform circular motion is the periodic motion, but every periodic motion is not the circular motion. Now, whether the horizontal circular motion is UCM or non-UCM. UCM is what? Abbreviation of uniform circular motion. So, horizontal circular motion may be uniform or may be non-uniform, but vertical circular motion is always a non-UCM, because in case of a vertical circular motion, the magnitude of the linear velocity at every point goes on changing, and that is why the vertical circular motion is the example of what? Non-uniform circular motion. But this horizontal motion may be UCM or it may be a non-UCM. So these are the four types of the circular motion. Now we consider the different physical quantities related to the circular motion. In case of a linear motion, you are familiar with the different concepts like displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, linear momentum, and so on. Similarly, in case of a circular motion, we consider the different physical quantities. So here, O is the center of the circular motion of a particle, R is the radius of its circular motion, and A, B, C, D, these are the different positions. If you draw the vector from center to the position of the particle, then it is called as the radius vector. Means here vector OA bar is called as the radius vector when particle is at A. This radius vector is also called as the position vector. So now, in a very short interval of time, say delta t, particle move from A to say P. Then radius vector rotates through some angle, say delta theta. In a very short interval of time, say delta t, particle move from A to P. Then radius vector rotates through a very small angle delta theta. And if you consider a finite interval of time, say t, particle move from A to B. Then radius vector rotates through an angle theta. So such an angle traced out by the radius vector in a given interval of a time is called as the angular displacement. So what is the angular displacement? Angle traced out by the radius vector in a given interval of time, or angle through which radius vector rotates in a given interval of time. This angle is called as the angular displacement. Now, angular displacements are of two types: finite angular displacement and infinitesimal angular displacement. So finite angular displacement and infinitesimal angular displacement. Finite angular displacement is denoted by symbol theta, while infinitesimal is denoted by angle delta theta. So what is the difference between these two? In a very short interval of time, particle move from A to P. then radius vector trace out is very small, say delta theta. This delta theta is called as the infinitesimal angular displacement. And in a finite interval of time, say t, particle move from A to B, then radius vector rotates an angle theta. That angle is called as the finite angular displacement. Difference between these two is that finite angular displacement is not a true vector. Finite angular displacement theta is not a true vector, while infinitesimal angular displacement is a vector. So why theta is not a true vector? So you are familiar with the laws of vector algebra. So all the laws of vector algebra are not satisfied by finite angular displacement, and that is why we say that finite angular displacement is not a true vector. While infinitesimal angular displacement is a vector, so as it is a vector, question is what is the direction of delta theta. So to represent the direction of infinitesimal angular displacement delta theta, we use the right hand thumb rule or right hand screw rule. So what is the right hand thumb rule or right hand screw rule? Suppose here we consider the circular motion of a particle in an anti-clockwise sense. So hold your right hand like this. Initially the fingers are along the vector OA bar. Particle is at the tip of our fingers. Now curl the fingers of your right hand. So that curled fingers of the right hand represent the direction of motion of the particle. Then thumb indicates the direction of delta theta. So this is the right hand thumb rule. So to represent the direction of infinitesimal angular displacement, we use which rule? Right hand thumb rule. So in a very short interval of time, particle move from A to B. So curled fingers indicates the direction of motion, while the thumb indicates the direction of infinitesimal angular displacement delta theta. So what is the SI unit of angular displacement and what is its dimension? So as it is an angle, its SI unit is what? Its SI unit is radian, abbreviated as RAD. So radian is the SI unit of angular displacement, and what is the dimension of the angular displacement? So dimension of angular displacement is 0 in mass, 0 in length and 0 in time. Here it has no dimension, or it is a dimensionless quantity. So angular displacement is a dimensionless quantity, or it has no dimension, or dimension of angular displacement is 0 in mass, 0 in length and 0 in time. Now we consider the formula for angular displacement and infinitesimal angular displacement. So here we use the one concept related to a mathematics. Angle is equal to length of arc upon radius. By using that, we get the formula for angular displacement as a angular displacement is equal to theta is equal to length of the arc. So for example, here we use the S for length of arc and R for the radius. So theta is equal to S upon R. S for length of the arc and R for the radius. So theta is equal to S upon R. If we consider the infinitesimal displacement, then it is delta theta is equal to delta S upon R. So this is our first physical quantity related to the circular motion. Now we consider the second physical quantity, angular velocity. So what is the angular velocity? Just like a linear velocity. Linear velocity means what? The rate of change of the displacement of a particle is called as the linear velocity. Similarly, here we consider the angular velocity. So what is the angular velocity? Angular velocity is denoted by letter omega. Definition is very simple. The rate of change of the angular displacement is called as the angular velocity. So rate of change of angular displacement is called as the angular velocity. Simple way we say that angular velocity is equal to angular displacement upon time. And therefore SI unit of angular velocity is radian per second. SI unit of the angular velocity is what? Radian per second. And dimension of the angular velocity is 0 in mass, 0 in length and -1 in time. 0 in mass, 0 in length and -1 in time. Angular velocity is a vector quantity. And again, to represent the direction of angular velocity, we use the right hand thumb rule. Means the direction of angular velocity omega bar is same as that of the delta theta. Means angular velocity omega bar as well as infinitesimal angular displacement delta theta bar are along the axis. So we use the right hand thumb rule to represent the direction of omega bar and delta theta bar. Now in case of angular velocity, we consider the two cases, instantaneous angular velocity and average angular velocity. So what is the instantaneous angular velocity? The instantaneous angular velocity is the limiting case of the rate of change of the angular displacement. Mathematically, we express omega instantaneous angular velocity as a limit delta t tends to 0 of delta theta upon delta t. Omega is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 of delta theta upon delta t. Now, what is the average angular velocity? It is a change in angular displacement upon time. Means simply we say that is theta 2 minus theta 1 upon t. Now we consider the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. So, as the particle performs circular motion, particle possesses linear velocity as well as angular velocity. So, we consider the relation between them. So, for that we consider this simple example. The particle performing a circular motion in a very short interval of time, particle move from A to B. So this position is A and this second position is B. So in a very short interval of time it move from A to B. Radius vector rotates to angle delta theta. Here we consider the topic relation between angular velocity omega bar and linear velocity v bar. So use here the concept delta theta. Length of arc AB is suppose delta S. Then apply our definition, angle is equal to length of arc upon radius. We get delta theta is equal to delta S upon R. Now apply the definition of the linear velocity. So here, as the time interval is very short, we use a limiting case. Linear velocity v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 of delta S upon delta t. In vector notation, it is v bar is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 of delta S bar upon delta t, but we consider the magnitude alone. So v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 of delta S upon delta t. From this formula, delta S is equal to delta theta into R. So if we put here value of delta S, we get limit delta t tends to 0 of delta theta into R upon delta t. Now we consider here circular motion. So radius remains constant. Means here R is the constant, so we take it outside the limit. So we get v is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 of delta theta upon delta t into R. So what is this limit delta t tends to 0 of delta theta upon delta t? It is the angular velocity, and so thus we get v is equal to omega into R. So linear velocity is the product of angular velocity and radius. In vector notation, you are in vector form, we get v bar is equal to omega bar cross R bar. So this is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. So in magnitude, v is equal to either say omega into R or R into omega. But in vector notation, it is v bar is equal to omega bar cross R bar. Vector product does not obey the commutative law, and so therefore v bar is equal to omega bar cross R bar. Our next point is the angular acceleration. So what is the angular acceleration? It is analogous to linear acceleration. We are familiar with the linear acceleration. The rate of change of the linear velocity is called as the linear acceleration. Similarly, rate of change of the angular velocity is called as the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is denoted by the symbol alpha. Rate of change of the angular velocity is called as the angular acceleration, and therefore SI unit of angular acceleration is radian per second square. What is the dimension of the angular acceleration? It is 0 in mass, 0 in length and -2 in time, and it is a vector quantity. Again, to represent the direction of angular acceleration, we use the right hand thumb rule. Is the direction of delta theta, omega and alpha are the same, and for all these we use the right hand thumb rule. Again, angular accelerations are of the two types: instantaneous angular acceleration and average angular acceleration. Instantaneous angular acceleration is the limiting case of the rate of change of the angular velocity, that is the limit delta t tends to 0 of delta omega upon delta t. And average angular acceleration is nothing but change in angular velocity upon time. Means alpha is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t. And instantaneous is the limiting case, limit delta t tends to 0 of delta omega upon delta t. Now we consider simple formulae related to the circular motion. Periodic time of circular motion means what? Periodic time is simply known as the period denoted by the symbol capital T. So what is the periodic time? Time taken by the particle to complete one revolution is called as the periodic time. Means simply we say that time for one revolution is called as the periodic time. So as in one revolution, particle cover how much a distance? It is equal to circumference of a circle. So time for one revolution is the periodic time. Distance covered in one revolution is the circumference, and the linear velocity possessed by the particle is v. So then use our simple relation, time is equal to distance upon velocity. In this case it is periodic time is equal to circumference upon linear velocity. So in symbol we get capital T is equal to 2 pi r upon v. So this formula for the periodic time is T is equal to 2 pi r upon v. But we know that what is the linear velocity? The linear velocity v is equal to omega into r, where omega is the angular velocity. Therefore you get T is equal to 2 pi r upon omega into r. R cancel, and we get the formula for periodic time is T is equal to 2 pi upon omega, or omega is equal to what? It is 2 pi upon T. Our next definition is the frequency. Frequency is denoted by N or F or mu. Three symbols are used in case of a frequency. So what is the frequency? Number of revolutions per second. Means in 1 second, how many revolutions completed by the particle is called its frequency. So therefore, frequency is the reciprocal of the period. Frequency is the reciprocal of the period or periodic time, and hence we get N is equal to 1 upon T. And according to our definition, what is the frequency N? The frequency N is the number of revolution upon time. So therefore it is small n is equal to capital N upon T. Number of revolutions per second is called as the frequency. Frequency is the reciprocal of the periodic time. So therefore omega is equal to 2 pi upon T. This formula becomes omega is equal to 2 pi n. So omega in terms of the periodic time is 2 pi upon t, while omega in terms of the frequency is 2 pi n. Now we convert this formula of average acceleration in terms of the frequency. So what is the value of omega? It is 2 pi n. So this average angular acceleration is equal to 2 pi n2 minus 2 pi n1 upon t. Take 2 pi as a common factor, we get alpha is equal to 2 pi into n2 minus n1 upon t. So this is also a very important formula of average angular acceleration. So as we discuss the angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, periodic time and frequency of a particle performing the circular motion and their formula. So just we summarize these topics and then we take the next topic. So what is the angular displacement? Angle traced out by the radius vector in a given interval of time. It's called angular displacement. Its SI unit is radian. Finite angular displacement is not a true vector, while infinitesimal angular displacement is a vector. And to represent this direction, we use the right hand thumb rule. Angular velocity is what? The rate of change of angular displacement is called as the angular velocity, denoted by letter omega. Its SI unit is radian per second and its dimension is 0 in mass, 0 in length and minus 1 in time. Angular acceleration is what? The rate of change of angular velocity. It's called as the angular acceleration, denoted by letter alpha. Its SI unit is radian per second square and dimension is 0 in mass, 0 in length and minus 2 in time. It is a vector quantity. Its direction is again represented by the right hand thumb rule. Frequency and periodic times. The periodic time is what? Time taken to complete one revolution, denoted by letter t, and frequency is the number of revolutions per second, denoted by symbol n, f or mu. And periodic time and frequencies are the reciprocals of each other. Now we consider here acceleration in non-uniform circular motion. So non-uniform circular motion means what? A circular motion in which the magnitude of linear velocity, that is angular speed, not remains constant. So particle perform a non-uniform circular motion. Its linear velocity is along the tangent to the circular path. O is the center and R is the radius. So what is its linear velocity? V. In vector notation we know that V bar is equal to omega bar cross R bar. So we differentiate this expression. So differentiate this expression with respect to time t. So you are familiar with the product rule of the derivative. So what is the product rule of the derivative? d by dx of the function uv is equal to what? The first function into derivative of second function plus second function into derivative of the first function. This rule is called as the product rule of derivative. So we use this product rule here, but in case of a vector product does not obey the commutative law, and so therefore we take the precaution. So dv bar by dt is equal to, so here first function is omega and second function is r. So omega bar into derivative of second function is what? dr bar by dt plus second function into derivative of the first. So here derivative of the first is d omega bar upon dt cross r bar. See the difference between the product rule in mathematics and here we apply the product rule for the vector product. So omega bar cross dr bar by dt plus d omega bar upon dt cross r bar. So what is the LHS? Rate of change of the linear velocity. So it is the acceleration a bar. Rate of change of velocity is the acceleration a bar. Omega bar cross dr by dt. So dr bar by dt represents the linear velocity v bar, because here displacement r bar is the radius vector. So as the particle move from one position to the another position, magnitude of the radius vector remains the same, but its direction changes. So therefore here dr bar by dt represents the linear velocity v bar. D omega bar by dt, that is the alpha bar, angular acceleration. So it is alpha bar cross r bar. This is the formula for resultant acceleration of a particle performing a non-UCM. But in this case, this first one, a bar is equal to omega bar cross v bar, and second one is what? The a bar is alpha bar cross r bar. So here we consider the two accelerations, tangential acceleration and radial acceleration. So first we discuss that radial acceleration and tangential acceleration, then we convert this formula a bar in terms of radial and tangential accelerations. So first we consider the acceleration of a particle performing UCM. Acceleration of a particle performing uniform circular motion. So uniform circular motion means what? Magnitude of the linear velocity remains constant. So this acceleration of a particle in UCM is called centripetal acceleration, or it is also called as radial acceleration. There are two methods to derive the expression for centripetal acceleration or radial acceleration. So we use here calculus method. So we apply the two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system for this circular motion. This one is x-axis and this one is the y-axis. Initially the particle is at A and it moved from A to P in a time interval say t. So therefore this angle is theta. R bar is the radius. So as we apply the two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system here, x and y with x coordinate and y coordinate of the point P. Draw the perpendicular from P on x axis. We get a right angle triangle here. So apply the definition of sin theta and cos theta for this right angle triangle POM. We get sin theta is equal to PM upon OPA. So PM is y and OM is what? X coordinate. X coordinate म्हणजे काय? The distance of a particle to a point from y-axis is called its x coordinate, while the distance of the particle or a point from x axis is called its y coordinate. So here we get sin theta is equal to y upon r and cos theta is equal to x upon r. Therefore we get here y is r sin theta and x is equal to r cos theta. By our definition of the angular velocity, omega is equal to theta upon t. Therefore theta is what? Omega into t. So put the value of theta here. We get y is equal to r sin omega t and x is equal to r cos omega t. Y is r sin omega t and x is what? R cos omega t. Now represent the position of the particle when it is at P. So it is represented by R bar or OP bar. So you are familiar with the representation of the vector in terms of its component. So according to that, we get R bar is what? X into I plus Y into J. So where here I cap and j cap are the unit vectors along x-axis and y-axis respectively. So put the values of x and y here. We get r bar is equal to r cos omega t into I cap plus r sin omega t into j cap. So this is the expression for the displacement, means this equation 1 represent the displacement of a particle. Now you are familiar with the concept. The rate of change of the displacement is called as the velocity. So therefore we differentiate this equation 1 with respect to time t. So what is the derivative of r bar with respect to time t? It is d r bar by dt. Now here r and I cap and here r and j cap are the constant. So take it outside the derivative. We get here r I cap into derivative of cos omega t with respect to t plus r into j cap into derivative of sin omega t. Now use the formula of the derivative of sin omega t and cos omega t. So you are familiar with this formula. Derivative of the function sin x with respect to x is cos x. But if you take the derivative of sin mx with respect to x, then it is m into cos mx. Similarly, derivative of the function cos x with respect to x is minus sin x and derivative of cos mx is minus m into sin mx. So use these two formulae here. So we get the derivative r I cap into minus omega into sin omega t plus r j cap into omega into cos omega t. So LHS is what? dr by bar dt. So it represents the velocity v bar. So what is the expression for the velocity? It is minus r omega cos omega t into I cap plus r omega, here is sin omega t, and here r omega into cos omega t into j cap. This is the expression for velocity. Rate of change of the velocity is called as the acceleration. So it is dv bar by dt is equal to, now what is the derivative of sin omega t? It is omega into cos omega t into I cap as it is plus r omega j cap as it is, and what is the derivative of cos omega t? It is minus omega into sin omega t. So LHS is the acceleration a bar. So a bar is what? Minus r omega square cos omega t into I cap minus r omega square sin omega t into j cap. only take minus omega square as a common, so we get a bar is what? Minus omega square into r cos omega t into I cap plus r sin omega t into j cap. What is this expression? From equation 1 it is r bar, r sin omega t into j cap. So finally we get a bar is what? Minus omega square into r bar. This is the expression for acceleration of a particle performing UCM. So in the next period, we consider the analysis of this formula. If minus sign indicates what, and different forms of this angular acceleration in UCM.